sometimes, and you'll see in this season, I do have some clients that are very heavily opinionated, and it makes my job a little more difficult because, I'm being brought in as this expert, and then there's so much pushback, which makes my job, of course, a little more complicated because when you're juggling for this last year and a half, you guys only get to see 12 of the projects, but when you're juggling 16 projects in a year, any designer knows that is a big load, and it is very difficult. And so you're trying to make sure every client feels like they're your own and like that they're the only one. And meanwhile, you're like multitasking and you're trying to like make everyone happy. So initially though, I say yes to a client. I interview the client just like they interview me. And so I have to make sure before a project even starts that like we are going to vibe, and that, what they're looking for is what I can give them, because I never want to overpromise and underdeliver. So the collaboration comes in where it's like in the very beginning, what are you looking for? What do you want me to bring to this project? How can I help? And then I have to be true to myself as a designer and say, how can I make sure that this feels like a design that I would do, but also keeping in mind their wants and needs, their likes and dislikes. It's a delicate dance, but I feel like I've perfected it. You always get thrown a curveball here and there, but it's very much a collaboration. It starts at the beginning with your energy, and then it continues on with like just the ebbs and flows of the project.
Yeah. Even to build off when you said, this season, like you get a lot of opinions, and sometimes that can be difficult. What other difficulties come with designing, especially this season, that we'll see more of?
I think the difficulties for me is just like what we talked about is balancing all of it, making sure that each client feels like they're the only client, making sure that I give them the attention that they deserve and that they have hired me for and that they're paying for. And so it's that is a very difficult thing for me. I've never had this many jobs going at one time. So you get to see the chaos of that in my life, and traveling and doing different projects all over the country, doing different shows all over the country, and then, balancing everything with my business. It's I'm trying to build a business and a brand, all while staying true to what my authentic brand is as an interior designer. So you get to see it all. You're not just going through this roller coaster of an individual client project. You're watching the entirety of the big roller coaster of my life and my career, and the twists and turns and the ups and downs and the good and bad. So it's very, it's, when I watch these episodes, it's very weird for me because I just spent a year and a half of my life doing it. And then it goes by like that. Like people watch my entire year and a half, and 12 different client homes, huge projects go by in a matter of months. So it definitely is triggering sometimes. And it's very like you're reliving those moments, and some are really hard to relive.
Yeah. With being so busy, how do you stay motivated? Sometimes because you're like, this is a lot, but I got this.
Yeah. I feel like that comes with age and with exercising patience. I've still not at all mastered. I don't know if I ever will, but it's definitely patience and making sure that like I'm doing what I love. And if I ever start to feel that shift, I like really take time to focus on that. Like, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Is this project good for me? I've walked away from a few projects because they just were not good for me energetically. And I don't want to spend my life being unhappy. So I understand that there's going to be tough times, but ultimately, I don't want to stop loving what I do again. And that happened for me once, and I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen again. So the balance is a struggle sometimes, but I think once you stay true to yourself and pay attention to your feelings, only good can come out of that.